For years, the Epstein files have been treated like gossip. Names, photos, scandals meant to shock, and then fade. But when viewed through a scientific lens, they stop looking like drama and start looking like data. A real-world case study of how human brains behave under threat, how power networks operate, and how systems survive exposure. Strip away the outrage, and what remains is not a mystery, but a mechanism. Scientifically, the files matter not because of who was involved, but because of how control was achieved, where psychology, neuroscience, game theory, and system science collide to show how behavior can be shaped without violence, force, or even direct orders. Inside the brain, a perceived threat to reputation or social survival activates the amygdala, floods the body with stress hormones, and shuts down long-term reasoning. Under these conditions, humans don't calculate morality, they calculate escape, which is why compromise works without chains. Fear rewires decision-making from the inside. Behavioral science calls this loss aversion. Humans fear losses more than they value gains. So threatening what someone already has, status, career, family, becomes more powerful than offering rewards, and once leverage exists, it rarely needs to be used, because the belief that it could be used enforces obedience through self-policing. From a game theory perspective, this is asymmetric leverage. One side holds information capable of irreversible damage, making compliance the rational response even without proof or action, as the mind applies the pressure internally. Zoom out further and network science explains why exposure doesn't collapse systems. Power structures are resilient networks, not single points of failure. So removing one node doesn't dismantle the whole if connections remain intact. There's, however, a psychological cost. Carrying secrets creates cognitive dissonance, forcing a split between public identity and private knowledge, leading over time to emotional numbing, stress adaptation, and obedience conditioning, where people stop asking what's right and start asking how to avoid consequences. Not moral failure, but neurological survival. Systems theory completes the picture by showing that complex institutions don't prioritize ethics, they prioritize stability, isolating whistleblowers, redirecting attention, and absorbing damage to preserve equilibrium, a pattern seen in biology, economics, and even artificial intelligence. In the end, the Epstein files matter scientifically not because they reveal evil individuals, but because they expose a repeatable process, how information becomes power, how fear overrides free will, and how systems function without villains, needing only incentives, revealing that this wasn't chaos, it was structure. And once you understand the science behind it, one conclusion becomes unavoidable. This system wasn't an anomaly, it was a prototype.